Okay, in this lesson we're just going to do some more review problems. And so the question is, what is the remainder when 5 plus 13 plus 21 all the way to 261 is divided by 4? Well, first we look at each term, and we look at a mod 4. Well, 5 is very easily determined to be 1 mod 4. If you look at 13, well, 13 also turns out to be 1 mod 4. And it turns out, because all these are in mod 8, all these turn out to be 5 mod 8. Well, 5 mod 8 is equivalent to 1 mod 4. So you've got a bunch of 1 mod 4s going on here. So the remainder each time is 1. Well, if I need to figure out how many 1 mod 4s I have, so I use my nice formula, 261 minus 5 divided by 8 plus 1. That gives me how many terms in the sequence. And so that means I need to divide 256 by 8. And I find out that 256 by 8 just equals 32. So that means there are 33 terms. So we need to multiply 1 mod 4, since there are 33 of them, by 33, which equals 33 mod 4, and 33 mod 4 is equivalent to 1 mod 4. So the remainder, when you divide this whole thing by 4, is 1. 7, I need to solve this equation. Remember, you can always deal with addition by just adding to both sides. That's always okay. But to solve this, remember, the way you do it is find the inverse of 5x, which means what number do I multiply by 5 to get me one more than a multiple of 11? Well, I can see that 11 times 4 is 44. 45 is one more than that, so if I multiply this whole thing by 9, I get 45x is equivalent to 63 mod 11. But 45x is just 1 mod 11, because it's one more than 44. And 63, well, 63 is 8 more than 55, and so it's 8 mod 11. So the solution of this is any number that is equivalent to 8 mod 11. All right, when we look at the next, we're going to do a couple more of these. It says 7x is equivalent to 3 mod 12. So again, you do the same thing. What's one more? What multiple 7 is one more than a multiple 12? Well, 25 is one more than 24. That doesn't work. 37 is one more than 36. That doesn't work. 49 is one more than 48, which does work. So we multiply everything by 7, and we get 49x is equivalent to 21 mod 12. Well, 49x is just equivalent to x. 21 mod 12 is just equivalent to 9 mod 12. And so 9 mod 12 is your solution. On 9, if we want to try to figure it out, hopefully you notice that these all have a 3 in common, so you can divide through by that 3 to get x is equivalent to 5 mod 6. And then we learned a rule that told us if these two right here have a common factor that is not a common factor of 5, then the answer is always going to be no solution. And that's because your 2x is always going to be a multiple of 2, and so there's no, and every time that you add 5 to a multiple of 6, you get a odd number, and so there's never going to be a solution. So this one just is very simply no solution. All right, the last one for this section, we need to solve this system of linear congruences. Well, if you remember, the way we do this is say that n is equal to 5 plus 7a, and n is equal to 6 plus 8b, where a and b are some integer. Well, we could set those equal to each other. And if you notice, we've got two different variables, and we don't only have one equation. But we can deal with this by modding by the largest of the numbers. And so if we take this whole thing, mod 8, well, 5, we're going to have 5 plus 7a mod 8 is equivalent to, well, 8 mod 8 is just 0, so it's just going to be 6 mod 8. Now it's just an equation to solve, so we got 7a equals 1 mod 8 by subtracting 5. We're looking for a multiple of 7. That's one more than a multiple of 8. And so if we can kind of go through, if you remember the last one, 7 was one more than 48, and 48 is a multiple of 8, so you're going to multiply all this by 7, and you're going to find out that a is equivalent to 7 mod 8. And so now that we have a is equivalent to 7 mod 8, we still need something for n, and so we need to plug that back in for a. Well, a is just going to be 7 plus 8c. If we plug that in, we get n is equivalent to 5 plus 7 times 7 plus 8c, which equals, well, if you multiply this out, you get 54 plus 56c. And so that means that the solution to this is going to be anything that is 54 mod 56. Anything 54 mod 56 will give you remainder 5 when you divide by 7 and remainder 6 when you divide by 8.